Journalism has undergone significant changes since the late 1990s when print, TV, and radio dominated the industry. Previously, journalism was highly valued, with well-resourced and trained journalists. However, the digital media revolution has given rise to citizen journalists, disinformation and misinformation, putting the profession at risk. A student from Uganda Christian University pursuing a journalism course shared her reasons for declining interest.
According to our talks as the youth, this is what we see. There is a lot of pressure in the newsroom. That's what we hear outside. From the people that we get chance to talk to, from those people who are already there in the offices, they come to say that there is really a lot of pressure, and this is a big factor that is scaring a number of upcoming journalists, or those ones who are still schooling in journalism, and even to those ones who would aspire to come into journalism.
One of the reasons she highlighted is the pressure amounting from some editors.
Not really that we don't have to work under pressure, but the first solution I think for myself is to accept the worst if it happens. The fact that I have to accept pressure if I have faced it, if I have maybe gotten that chance, or have been unlucky enough to find such people to work with, I have to first put in mind that I have to accept pressure. But how is it handled?
Linda Chibombo, a senior editor with years of experience, acknowledged the challenges in journalism, saying it's not for the weak.
But the yelling at people and that kind of stuff, one thing is this, first and foremost, I am not trying to defend editors who are like that. All I'm trying to do is just tell you that first and foremost we work in very high pressure environments. That was one of the reasons that I had to leave. There was a lot of pressure. A lot of pressure where sometimes you find that yes, you do get irritated. Sometimes you find that you do get tired. Sometimes people are calling you from outside and they are telling you you've got the facts of that story right. Sometimes somebody is threatening you and telling you if you run that story, this is what is going to happen. So you've got to toe the line. But it doesn't mean then that you get that anger or the pressure and the tension and you transfer it to the reporter.
Linda, however, advises students to hang in the course. However, they should be prepared to learn practical skills.
Some of those people who come as interns to a media house actually get the experience of having a very bad editor and so decide, you know what, let me go tell my friends or anybody who is aspiring to be a good journalist in the future, or who's just aspiring to be a journalist or a writer or broadcaster or working in the media, that you know what, media house is not the place for you. The media is just not the place for you. But I would encourage them. I was just talking to somebody at lunchtime, somebody who is doing her first year of journalism and is in her very first semester, and she was very scared. And I said, look, this is the situation in very many places of work today. You could be a lawyer, you could be being paid very little money. You could have a boss who is telling you to do things under the table. You could be sent out to do an assignment that is very risky to your life. You could be asked to lie in court. You could be asked to go there without a practicing certificate. And then the magistrate or judge is going to ask for that practicing certificate and you actually do not have it. So this happens in very many workplaces.
Ijo David, a Nation Media Group journalist, revealed the realities of newsrooms.
The fact is there is pressure in the newsroom. Just not to scare any young student out there. There is pressure in the newsroom, but it depends on what kind of pressure. Because every workspace has their own different pressures. I mean, if you go to the ministries, if you go to government agencies, if you go to hospitals, every workspace has their own pressures. Just like every workspace has their own pressures, it is the same in the context of news. What we just need to understand as young people is how am I going to navigate the pressure of a newsroom to build my brand as a journalist and to do what I'm supposed to do. Because unlike other professions, media is a very demanding profession. Sometimes you go an extra mile from your job designation. I mean, like me who works in the newsroom, We wake up as early as 7 is when we are supposed to be in the newsroom. Sometimes you leave the newsroom late, 10 in the night, because of the nature of the demand of the job.
Despite the complexities, Ijo encourages students to pursue journalism for its opportunities.
Through a kind of a polished syllabus where they think media, you have to speak a lot of English, you have to be... No, let's go practical. But also, let's be real to young people. Let's really be honest. For me, I've interacted with many young people who look at journalism in a sense of celebrity status. I want to be a journalist because I'm inspired by Canary Mugumi, because I'm inspired by Raymond Mujuni, because I'm inspired by people I see anchoring. These guys go through a lot to reach there. Myself, I want to be there, but right now, it is the work I do that is going to get me there. We are the fourth estate. We have our own privileges as journalists. We have places we can reach, an ordinary citizen cannot reach. We have people we interact with, people that hold the power, people that hold the influence. We are the people that interact with these guys. It depends on how you interact with them and what you want to achieve from them. But if you make good use of your profession as a journalist to build rapport with some of these guys that hold the powers that be, that hold the influence that is, I mean, journalism is going to be that profession that is going to lead you to a proper career path, and that's how it earns you wealth. We've seen many journalists leave the newsroom and are successful people. There's so many of them we can name, from the likes of Solomon Serwanja, from the Adonia Ayebare, who is now the UN envoy. There's so many journalists that we can talk of who've left the newsroom and are living a life because of better networking, because of better opportunities, because of interacting with the rightful people. That's why I say it is not a well-paying profession, but it earns you well if you use it very well.
Jan Ajwang, owner of Media Focus Africa, emphasized the need for a governing body to identify authentic media practitioners.
Sometimes when you talk about trust in media, there are people who benefit when the media is not trusted, and because of that, it might be in their interest for journalism to look bad. And when journalism looks bad, the generation that is coming after us will not be interested in it. If they think journalists being beaten, journalists being discredited, journalists being despised, and seeing journalists not having much pay, it's not like the biggest inspiration. If you're seeing content creators and celebrities where they have an understanding of ethical communication or ethical journalism appearing to be more believed than them, then the young people struggle, and then of course then you must address it from that point and speak to them, because journalism has changed regimes. Journalism has exposed corruption. Journalism has guided us on critical public health issues. We know that, but these young people are seeing only as a negative presentation of journalism. But we must present to them so many things that are benefits. It transforms communities.
Media Focus Africa organized a 2-day session addressing professionalism, disinformation, rebuilding trust, women in politics, and many more.
Media now, it's really toward the end of the year, and we are reflecting on so many things that have happened throughout the year about the future of media, the future of journalism, and we look at the critical issues that we must take action on. So the point is, everybody who's in journalism, who is in the media space, or is supporting media, either stakeholders, so when they all come together, there's so many insights that come that we must get and be able to convert to action. And so there are certain issues, for example, this year we are noticing an increasing decline in trust in the media, but we cannot just say, we are not trusted and you proceed. We need to ask ourselves, is it genuine? What are the issues?
Naguja Serena, NSTV.
Then it becomes a bit problematic